So we have the next talk. I'm just going to introduce Pablo. He is basically leading all of this SUSE manager stuff. And I think in the open source version it's called Uyuni, if I say it right.
Yep.
And I'm sure he's going to give you a great talk, and he's promised me some live demos. He's living in Tenerife, just in kind of West Africa and some islands there. And he came from this, sounds like really beautiful place to cold, wintry Brussels. So I hope you will warm him up with a large round of applause. Pablo.
Thank you. Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to this session, this introduction session around Uyuni. Just a question, how many of you know Uyuni already? A couple, okay, that's not bad. So yeah, hopefully you will get a better idea now after this talk of what this thing is. So let's start from the basic. What's this Uyuni? Well, Uyuni is actually the Salardo Uyuni, the largest salt flat on the planet. This is where we took the name of the project from. And if we go a little bit more deeper into the important thing is basically an scalable system management solution. It is able to manage tens, hundreds, or even thousands servers with a single Uyuni instance. It's able to deploy and manage all kinds of Linux workloads, wherever they are. Everything just in a single place. It's providing you hardware and software inventories for all your systems. It's allowing you to do configuration management, of course. We are using Sol for that. We will see that later. You would be able to have all your configuration templates in a centralized place and being able to apply those to your systems and being able to easily maintain all those configurations. It's going to provide you also a very granular control of the contents that you are delivering into those systems. In this case, we have our Uyuni server is synchronizing all the packages that you get from your vendor channels or from your distributions, and also from your custom repositories and everything, and it's providing you ways to tailor the content that is in those channels. So in the end, you end up having channels that are just tailored by you and that contains exactly what you want that your system have access to. As mentioned, it's powered by Salt. It uses also OpenJDK because we have a UI. And yeah, we are doing it still like that. And it's also having React.js. As I'm telling you, it provides you a web UI. It's also providing you a CLI, so for people that likes more to use the console and not that fancy UIs, that you can go there. And it's also providing you an API in case that you want to integrate it with other services or application, etc. And now we are running it on a container, which is one of our latest achievement. But let's just start from the beginning. So where did Uyuni come from? Let's talk about the origins. So you might know the Spacewalk project. It's an old project. It was born on 2008, and it was a free and open source system management system. By then, Red Hat acquired the company that created this, and they used that for their satellite product until the version 5. We also used that in SUSE for our SUSE Manager product, what is now known as SUSE Multi-Linux Manager, until version 3.2. During that time, we were actively contributing to the Spacewalk project. And at some point, since Red Hat was moving to the satellite product to this new stack of Foreman, Catello, Pulp, etc., the contributions that we were making to the Spacewalk project were just piling up because there was not much activity on the repository. And then, we started deviating a lot. And at some point, the Spacewalk project wanted to, they wanted someone else to be able to continue with the project. There was some negotiation by then, but in the end, the negotiations were not that good, so in the end, we went and forked the project. So as mentioned, the fork was created in 2018, and after that, the Spacewalk discontinued the project in May 2020. Uyuni is basically doing rolling releases. Last release is 2024-12. Hopefully, there will be another release now in February, or hopefully in March. Our idea is that we can try to do, monthly or bi-monthly releases. But yeah, that's what we try, but we will need to see. So yeah, sometimes we are not that regular on the dates, but that's what we are trying to achieve, at least monthly or bi-monthly releases. Let's talk a little bit about the features. So you can manage, as mentioned, on-prem, but you can also manage cloud, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud systems. We have content lifecycle management, which is basically a way that you can define different stages, like development, testing, production. Then you can set up filters that are able to just extract the packages that you really like to those environments, and then once you tested those and you validate that everything is working as you expected, you can promote those channels to the next stages. So eventually, you end up having the content that you have in your production servers has been already tested and going over this all this workflow. We are able to execute recurring actions, states or high states. These are concepts more on the Salt world, but the idea is that you can programmatically plan the actions and set that the actions are going to be recurrent and do all these kind of things, particularly helpful when you are defining maintenance windows and you need that your actions are actually performed on those particular time frames. You know? Compliance, we do CV audit, SCAP, and subscription matching, so you will see later on the demo. The idea is that it's really easy with Uyuni that, let's say you have this new CVE and you have a very big infrastructure, you don't really know exactly what's the content of all of your system, and it's really easy with Uyuni that you just put the reference there and it would tell you which of the systems are still affected by that or are not affected, and in just one click, you can patch those systems. Good thing also is that this CVE audit works not only for systems, but as you will see later, it would also work for container images, because we are able to build container images with Uyuni, and this feature is also able to inspect the images. So if you have an image which contains a package that is vulnerable, it's going to tell you, and you can easily reveal that image, so the issue is gone there. Monitoring, so we provide also Prometheus and Grafana stack, so you have metrics from your running Uyuni server, but also with metrics from your managed system. You have information about the internal JVM metrics around the performance of the system itself, and the registered clients that you have. You can also deploy exporters there, so you can also have monitoring for your whole infrastructure. Formulas with form is also a cool thing that you will see later. It's basically allowing you to, from a simple YAML file that you can create, generate a small UI that is going to allow you to easily configure the particularities of a particular state and then apply it. You will see that later. And it provides you a transparent integration with Salt, which means that in the end, everything that is running on the Uyuni is basically calling Salt under the hood. And you can also operate Salt manually out of the Uyuni and just execute Salt commands as you usually do with your Salt master, etc., etc. All the information that is injected by Uyuni into the Salt, yeah, you would have access to that. You would see that later in a second. Some more cool features that we have, image creation. As I told you, we can create container images, and we can also create OS images with Kiwi. As mentioned, all the packages that are on those images are coming from your software channel. So in the end, if you have been doing this lifecycle management thing, you would have always the control of the packages and the validation that the packages that you are putting in are actually under your standards, let's say like that. We have also auto installation. So you can run on the SUSE side, you can run AutoJust. AutoJust is basically, sorry. AutoJust is basically a definition of the state of your machine that is able to allow you to run unattended installations of your system, and yeah, do just run the installation and get the system just registered in your Uyuni instance. You can connect also with other environments like VMware, Nutanix, other public clouds like AWS, Google, and Azure, I think we have also integrated. Confidence and computing, hot topic nowadays. We are able to use the Uyuni server as the attestation server, so it's able to do regular checks to your confidence and computing systems and extract the information and generate reports then. Ansible integration is also something interesting here because we were able to manage Ansible control nodes. So if some of your systems are running Ansible and you are having playbooks and stuff, you can also manage those playbooks, run them using Uyuni, and integrate those executions with the rest of actions that you can do and perform using Uyuni. Architecture. So, well, basically, as mentioned, we have a central Uyuni server. You have proxies also, so in case that your client has no direct access to the server, then you can use proxies. Those proxies are also catching content, so RPM packages, etc. So that would increase the efficiency when your network is not the best one. And it would basically follow this topology. You can connect clients directly, or you can use proxies and connect clients to the proxies. This scales quite well. So with a single Uyuni server, you can manage a few thousands of servers. If you need more, then you can use the hub. The hub is basically another Uyuni server that you put on top of those, and it's basically aggregating all the data from the peripheral Uyuni servers, and you will have this overall view from the top. So with this architecture, we are able to scale this quite a lot. Looking a bit under the hood, this is what we see. So as I told you, the server is a container. It basically has quite different components. We are using Postgres. We have Tomcat, of course, for running the Java application, the web UI. We have the Sol master, which is the one that takes care of the communication with all the clients, et cetera, with the proxy. And as I mentioned here, the clients are usually running a Sol minion, which connects to the Sol master, and is the one that is receiving the actions that are published by the Sol master, and is just performing the execution. I put an asterisk there because we are now using what we call Sol bundle. So instead of the normal Sol minion package or process, this is a special package that contains not only Sol, but it contains also the complete Python stack plus dependencies that we need to operate Sol and Uyuni. So we don't need to worry about the Python version that is running on that particular system that we want to manage, because we provide everything to be able to run the actions themselves. This is the default configuration, let's say, but sometimes you don't have access from your clients, even using a proxy, to your server. And the way the Sol minion works is that the Sol minion needs to reach the Sol master. But in those cases, we can also manage those clients using Sol SSH. In this case, what is going to happen is that any time that we need to perform an action, there is going to be an SSH connection that is triggered from the SUSE manager server to that particular client, which in case that is behind proxies, is going to do all the jumps until it reaches the final client and then performs the execution. Of course, if you are using the SSH method, it's not going to scale as much as you can do if you are using the normal salt, right? Because of obvious reasons that you need to create a single SSH connection for each one of the system that you want to reach, while in the case of the salt minions, all salt minions in the client are subscribed to a public socket, 0Q socket, and then the salt master just need to publish event once that they are then received by all the clients. They don't need to, the master does not need to create, let's say, a separated connection for each one of the clients that we are targeting for that specific action. So, which systems are we supporting? So this is the current picture that we have. As you see, some of the systems that we support are already end of life, so we are not covering them anymore. This is the current list of active systems that we are managing. So as you see, we are not really tied to a particular vendor or distribution, but we try to cover all of them. The idea is that most of the environments are actually heterogeneous. So yeah, let's just try to focus on being able to manage all Linux distributions that are out there. As you can see as well, most of the, well, a lot of the systems that are being supported here are coming from the Uyuni community, so not only from the development that is done by SUSE in this case, but also from the Uyuni community and also during the Hack Weeks, which is an activity that is done in SUSE every year that allows people to hack and do crazy stuff from time to time out of the normal work that they do usually. So if you want to start playing with Uyuni, first thing you need to do is, of course, you need to install it. There is a web page with just a small guide, but it's really easy. You just need to install OpenSUSE Lib Micro 5.5. If you don't know what this distribution is, or this micro thing means, this is actually a transactional system. For those that are not aware on what this is about, it's basically an OpenSUSE lib where the root file system is read-only. So anytime that you wanted to do a change on your system, you need to create a separate snapshot on the file system where your upgrades, your new packages and your changes are applied. And in order to activate that transaction, you need to reboot the system. But other than that, it's really easy. You just need to install the Uyuni tool. Well, you need to add the repository, install the Uyuni tool, and with that, you can use the mgradm entry point just to run the installation of the containers. In this case, we are using Podman. And yeah, we will see in the future. It might be that we are able also to run this on Kubernetes. We would see. Once you have your container running, the next thing you need to do is to enable the channels of your different distributions or the channels with the software that you want to start using on those clients that you want to manage. And after that, you can start with the registration and start playing with it. Quickly, 3 ways of registering system using the UI or the API. Easily, you go there, put the host name, click, 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 and that's it. You can use a generated bootstrap script that is also provided by Uyuni in case that you just want to trigger the registration by executing a bash script on the clients, and that's it. Or you can also do manual registration by just editing the salt minion configuration, pointing the salt master, which is in this case the Uyuni server, and once you accept the salt keys on the salt master on the Uyuni server, then you will see that the registration is triggered, and that's it, and you get the system onboarded. One interesting thing is when you are triggering the registration of a system, you can have this, you can provide an activation key. Activation key, you create them on Uyuni, and you can define for that activation key that you want certain states to be applied. So for example, I might have an activation key for my web servers or for different things. So anytime that a system is registered with that activation key, as soon as the system is registered, it's going to start applying a set of configuration that you have defined. So you end up having a system register and configure as you want. For example, a web server. You can also have groups and do the same. You can assign certain configurations to groups, and then you can assign or define that this system is actually belongs to this group, and then everything is going to be triggered automatically. This is a system inventory. Quickly, we will see it later also in the demo, but as you see here, you have different clients. It's going to tell you if they are good, if there are some critical upgrades or stuff that you need to do for each one of the, here we have OpenSUSE lib. We have also some fake channels there, SLI15S before as well. And you see system type solved, but there are some special, for example, the first one you see, this is also a US image build host, container build host, so you can set properties for each one of the systems that will allow you to expose more functionality in the UI for being able to manage those. As I mentioned as well, you can also run CLI tools that allows you to do basically the same that you are using with the UI, but you can use CLI tool, or you can use API. We are providing XMLRPC API and also JSON over HTTP. And as you can see, it's really easy to trigger an action. For example, in this example, we are just looking up for a new CLM project, and you get the response, and that's it. If you want to join our community, ideas and feedback is more than welcome. We are using mailing lists, Gitter, GitHub. We have a monthly community hours meeting call, in this case, that you can join as well just to see, we always bring the new, the progress of the project and all the stuff there. And there are also quite a nice discussion there from time to time. So you are more than welcome to join us there. If you want to contribute the code, we have a wiki for setting up your developer environment, and then, of course, just go and create pull requests. And, of course, we also want people that help us with the translation. So if you have, if you want to participate on that, more than welcome. Some quick links, interesting and useful links that you have here around the API documentation, point of contact, different guides that we have, administration guides, etc., etc. Of course, where you can download this and the source code, which is in GitHub, etc., etc. So let's just go and do a quick demo here. Let's see if everything is not crashing. Let me just go here. So, well, first of all, what I wanted to show you is not this. So this is the Uyuni server, and I just wanted to show you Podman PS. So you see there is here, wait, how should I do this? Right. Let's see if I can move it. OK, so this is the Uyuni server. I hope you can read more or less from the back. So in this case, just wanted to show you that, we have a container here running. OK. A lot of ports are actually exposed there. Just to see that this is running in a container. Now, if we want to go in, we can just type, and let me just move this because I don't see now the screen. So we have a mgrctl command, which is our entry point for operations inside the Uyuni container. In case that we just want to step in and get a shell inside, we just execute this mgrctl term. And we are here now inside the container. Unfortunately, I named the host and the container the same way, so you see that both are called Uyuni server. But now we are inside the Uyuni server, and you see actually how Postgres and everything that is running inside the container is there. So, and now let's just go to the UI. So hopefully Okay, I need to move this again. Good. So once we log into Uyuni, this is what we have. We have an overview page. It's basically giving you some information about your system, the status, and last actions that were executed. Let's just go to our system so we can actually go inside. Well, here we have a couple of, I have Alma Linux 9, OpenSUSE, Rocky Linux, and Ubuntu. So you see that we are actually able to manage the different distributions. And as you see, it says, okay, we are good here, we are not that good here. This information, well, since I need to synchronize all the packages from all those different distributions into my laptop, I just skip a few of them, so that's why you see like strange, like extra packages. Well, it's okay for the demo anyways. So let's go inside this one profile, for example, and here we have information, just a summary of what this system is. We can see the channels that this system is subscribed to. We see here that this is Assault, Minion, which is nice. Yeah, let's just have a quick look around things that we can do on this. So, well, first thing that we can do easily is just execute a command. Simple like that. You can select the user, blah, blah, blah. Let's just give it a try. So date. And at the time of scheduling an action, for all actions that we schedule through through Uyuni, you can set when do you want to schedule that, or you can even incorporate it to the action chain, which is, yeah, we want to execute this action, after this action, this other action, kind of an orchestration thingy. So in any case, let's just run this. Let's go to events. Okay, no pending events, so it was executed already. And yeah, it's green, and we have the the output of this. Good. Then we have software. Here we can see all the packages that are installed on the system. If there is any change on this system, this would get automatically reflected here on the profile. So this profile is always reflecting what the system is actually having. If we go to a package, of course, we have all the information about the particular package, changelog and everything. We can trigger upgrades, installation of new packages, etc., etc. As this is Alma 9, we can also manage the upstreams, so we can here enable and disable. So this is a way also for you to manage the upstreams on the RHEL-based distros. And then an interesting point here, well, software channels. Here is where you define the channels where you want to subscribe at this particular system. And also interesting thing to show you, state. So this is basically, so the highest state, as mentioned, is a concept from the Salt World, and it's basically like the complete set of configuration templates that you have defined for that particular system. So when you run the high state, it's supposed to make the system to reflect and to be configured exactly as you described. So we can, in this case, there is a source summary of what the high states includes for this particular system, which is, of course, all the internal states from Uyuni to work. And I assigned also a custom web server state that I created. So yeah, you will see this running in a moment. If we want to create recurring actions, like I want to execute the highest state every day at a certain hour or whatever, we can prepare the schedule, and this is going to be triggered. And if you want to run not the highest state, which is the complete set of templates, you just want to execute a particular state, then you can also go here. You have here all the internal state plus also the ones that you have created manually. In this case, I create one for the MOTD and also for setting up a web server. Of course, we have the history of event and all that kind of things. Good. So let's just do some stuff here. So first thing, I want to let me just go here. It says that I have a critical upgrade here. So you see the patches that are currently fixing problems that are supposed to be on my system. Like this one, you have the patch information, and this one, oops. Okay, no, oh, now everything is gone. me just go there again. And by the way, okay, now is this on the, where is the cursor now? Okay, here. So, okay, sorry about that. So we want to go here, and we wanted to see this particular patch, for example, and you see there is a CV here, so you have all the information around CVs and everything that you can just go there and click. In this case, let's just try to fix this one. And I'm not sure what is going to happen because I didn't fully sync all the channels, but just give it a try and let's see what's going on. So this is going to apply this patch. We want to apply this patch now. Okay, let's go to event, nothing here. Okay, it's running already. Let's see, and it's okay. So it completed. Here you see, since every action in Uyuni is actually an execution done by Salt, you see that this is how it looks like, the execution that we just done. And at some point you would see that, we installed this patch and you have the information. Okay, good. That is how easy it is to patch your system. And then you would see in 1 minute or two that this number is actually going to decrease. What else? So beside of this, I wanted to execute the particular state that I told you, this one web server. We can have a look here, how this is looking. You can create different templates of your states. In this case, this is Salt. And this is just a web server, simply one that is installing Apache or HTTPD, and it's just setting up a example index file. And let's just go back and execute this thing and see if this works. I can execute this in isolation, or since I set this state to be part of my high state like this, so I also want to incorporate the MOTD1 to this system, so that's it. You can also order which one you want to perform the first. And again, if I now go to high state, I can see that my high state contains now the internal states that configures the channels that we have configured and all this kind of stuff, plus our custom states that we are running on top. Let's just execute this high state and see if this works or not. Okay, no pending. Let's see. Hopefully, okay, good. So the high state was applied, and there was also an automatic schedule of a package list refresh. Since our state was changing the packages that were installed, Uyuni is automatically going to keep to trigger this action, so we have the profile, the software profile, always up to date. So according to this, let's just double check. Yeah, we install Apache and all the stuff, and then we set the index page and we enable. So let's just see. I think this was 139, yes or no. Let me just check the address of this one server. Oh, 5. And here we are, good. So that's how we incorporate custom state that we create to the different systems that we have around. One extra thing that I told you about was the formulas with form. This is also really nice because we have already a collection of formulas here, but you can also extend this collection. There are, if you want to configure DHCP or locale, for example, you can click here, you save, and then you are going to see that now a new tab appears here, rendering a small UI where you can define actually your preference on regard of locale. If we set, for example, DHCP, in the same way, it's going to appear here a new tab, which a small UI that allows you to configure your DHCP, and all this information that you set here and you save it is going to be part now of your high state. As you see, we have more things now here, the two that we saw before, the DHCP formula and the locale formula. All these different things are basically rendering what we call the highest state that then you execute, and is basically making the system to be according to that declaration that you have done. Good. Let me just double check the time. Good. Just a few more things that I want to show you. The audit. Maybe it's because I'm touching this. The audit page, this is what I told you about the CVE. So we can just put here, I think it was from 2020, this one, for example. So any reference for a CVE, and you can audit your servers like that. It's telling you that, okay, we are good. In this case, since I have not all the packages synchronized for Alma 9, it's telling you that it cannot process the scan on this, but these other two are actually quite good. And as I told you as well, in case that we are building images, if we go to audit images, then we would see the different images that we are building with Uyuni, and in the same way that we saw that we are good, we might see that, okay, we need to rebuild the image. It would provide a button. You click on it, and then the image is going to be rebuilt, getting the new packages with the update fixed on it. All right. We have OpenSCAP as well. I ran a couple of tests on Rocky Linux. As you see here, it's basically allowing you to run SCAP analysis, and it's going to provide you with the results, and it's also providing you, the report with all the tests that executed and all the stuff. So this is also something that you can do for be compliant. Then CLM is also worth to see. This is what I told you, that you can define the different stages of your pipeline. So you get the packages in a development channel that you can then use during development, and at some point when developers are okay, you can just promote those packages to a testing stage. Then when QE, these are just trivial names. You can use whatever, and you can add as much as the stage as you want. But the idea, and if we go here to one of those, is that you define some sort of channels, and then you can apply filters on those, like, for example, let's have a look at here. Let me just add a new filter. You can use filter based on, patches, packages, whatever. And then those filters that you create here are going to define a subset of packages, and then you build your different stages. Each one of those stages are actually software channels that we have and that we can assign to systems. So we can have our testing systems that are assigned to the testing stages, and then our production servers to the production channels, etc., etc. And it's just up to us to, once everything is verified, to promote what we have here to the next, right? For example, let's do like this, and it's going to promote whatever is in development to testing. And as soon as this is built, then all the testing channels for my test project are going to get the packages that were here in development, and so on and so on. Another thing that I just wanted to show you as well, I think I have it here, is the Ansible. So this is just kind of an initial proof of concept on how this is work, and we are actually planning now to enhance this much more, because this was just the initial step we did on this regard. And in any case, what you do here, so this system I set as an Ansible control node, and this is basically allowing me to add playbook directories on this node where I have playbooks. And it's also allowing me to add inventory files that are on the host. Once we have this set, and of course we can add as many as we want for both playbook as inventories. If we go now to playbooks, for example, we can go here. This one is telling you that it's located here. If you go inside, we see the content. This is just a test one. And of course, it's allowing us to execute this or to run this playbook. You can select the inventory if it's applied. In this case, it's not necessary because it's a local connection. But again, you have playbooks and you have inventories, and then you can run those playbooks on those different inventories. And as I told you before, all different actions in Uyuni, you can schedule it on a particular time, or you can also make them to be part of an action chain, right? The same way from the inventories, one cool thing here is that it's parsing the inventory, and it's also for this particular inventory, for example, it's an Ansible inventory that is managing a couple of hosts. Some of those hosts are already registered in SUSE Manager, like this, but some other hosts are actually not. So this is also allowing you to trigger Bootstrap on those hosts directly. So it's a way that we can have systems that are managed by Ansible and that are managed by Uyuni, all in the same place, and being able to run the different things. So if you have already, if you invested already time on building playbooks, and now you want to move to Uyuni, which is more salt-based, let's say, you can just drop the playbooks here and keep interacting with them. Good. Recurring actions, okay. And let me just check how much time I have, because I think that we are mostly running out of time. Good, so what else I can show you here? So this is the part which I have not filled, but this is the part about images. So here we can define our different registries, Docker files and stuff, and we can trigger the build of those Docker files, and we can have the images there that then are inspected by the CVE mechanism and are going to be also part of the rest of the, or that are going to be fed by the packages that are coming from the channels that we are managing here, and at the same time are going to be part of the analysis and CVE analysis that we do on the audit page. Okay, so I think I'm running out of time, so there is a couple of more minutes that we can use maybe for questions. Okay, this is not the beginning, but let me just go there. Yeah. So this was, so there, one thing to be clear here is that the Uyuni is doing a lot of stuff. It has the part of the managing your software channel, packages, and so on. But I didn't went into the auto-installation part, for example. Neither I went to the how you can bring the instances that you have in your public cloud, like Nutanix, EC2, whatever, and bring those instances here to Uyuni, so you see them. You have the inventory, and if you have those instances as well registered in Uyuni, then you can just operate them as they will be on-prem or whatever. I'm not doing any example of bootstrapping a new system now because I don't want to have the risk now, and I'm missing some packages to do that. But yeah, hopefully you have a little bit more idea what this thing is, and if you want, for sure, just give it a try. That might help you as it's helping us and our customers as well on the SUSE side to solve their daily operation and configuration management challenge. So yeah, that's it. Do you have any questions? Wait.
Not in the best to put it in a nicer way. So can you say something how that does affect you, does affect you. So I mean, you implemented Ansible, but it could also be that Ansible just have a lot of traction and customer are like, yeah, we would want to use this tool because we already have it all. Yeah.
So that was actually one of the main reasons why we tried to put Ansible there. So because people out there is using Ansible, so we cannot force them to really migrate to Salt, right? We can try to bring them to our side, right? But yeah, and as you mentioned, on the Salt Stack upstream side, there have been a lot of disruption, let's say, but seems that the things are calming down. I mean, there was the VMware acquisition, then Broadcom, and the project, you know, people move around and stuff, but they are still there. There is a compromise from Broadcom that they want to continue with the Salt project. And that's what we have heard. So let's see. For now, I cannot tell you more.
Yeah, okay, but it could have been the case that you know more or have plans or anything, or like you will move away from it.
We are not moving. It's not really easy to move away from Salt in this case because all the action executions are built on top of Salt. So it would be like a rebuild of the whole Uyuni, right? Yeah, let's see.
Thank you.
Sorry, Bo. Please go ahead.
I saw in your slides there is something about confidential computing, which
Right.
is mentioned absolutely nothing about it. So what is supported and what is not and how?
So this is one of the newer features that we have put there. In principle, if you are running hardware that supports confidential computing, Uyuni can be an attestation server that you just configured. There is a guide to do that. And then Uyuni is going to perform the necessary checks, right? And it's just going to expose you that data and those reports in the UI. It's not doing much. It's just allowing you to gather the information around the checks on the confidential computing and have it there. And once you have it there, then okay, we can implement alerts wherever, or you know. But at least we have the initial steps to be able to deal with that. Any more questions? Oh, sorry.
So, sounds like it's quite a lot of channels, and you've got things like the sort of CVE data in channels or in some way. Who maintains all of that? And is that free for anyone to use, or how does that work?
So if you are using if you are using, of course, enterprise distribution, then you will have that information. If you are using, I think on OpenSUSE, we also provide all the patch information there, but since it was not fully synced, then you don't see patches for OpenSUSE, but the information is there. And the patch contains information around the CVE and all of that. And since Uyuni knows exactly the packages that are installed on all your infrastructure, and it also contains the fresh information from the channels that you are syncing, the vendor channels that you sync regularly every night, then it's able to know if there is a patch for a CVE, which is affecting...
Anyone can sync those channels, can't they? Or only if you pay for it?
Yeah. I'm not sure what to tell you.
No, but I just say those channels are publicly available.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's
Sure. It's there. There was another one there.
The integration with the hypervisor, what does that exactly mean?
Sorry, what?
The integration with hypervisors
Yeah.
in Linux, what does it mean?
So I can actually quickly show you, but I don't think we have enough time for that. But the thing is that you just configure your, for example, your Nutanix, or your public cloud zone and the information, the IP tokens, and that's it. And then it would gather all your instances there. So you have the information from what you have in the cloud there. And it's also allowing you to match with the register clients that you have. So you have a complete view that all that you have on your public cloud is there, and you can actually manage the system that you have there, right?
Okay, it's just importing data, metadata around your clients.
Yeah, it's asking in this case, the public API, which instances do you have there, and then it's correlating those instances with the systems that you have registered there. So in the end, you have a view where you see the systems, but you see also related with the instances that you have in the public cloud. Okay, maybe one more minute we have. One more question. Okay, sorry. Our plans from 2025, well, we want to keep integrating more operating systems. So there is a new one, a few more coming. Then we are planning to invest on the Ansible integration side. So as you saw, this was a very minimal thing, but we wanted to allow this to be actually much more powerful than this currently is. Confidence and computing, I think that is also going to be leveraged a little bit more. And I'm not really sure exactly what else we have on the roadmap. We are also trying to bring more data from on the monitoring stack side. We wanted to collect more data from the internal of the Salt. So what is going on internally there, and that you can have dashboard and see exactly what's going on there. What else? There is also plans for, well, I don't want to say stuff that maybe is not there, but you know, there are different things, and if you are interested, you can join the Gitter or the community hours, where it's also usually where the developers are gathered around, and there is more information about this probably.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Last one.
Do you think about integration with AWS?
Yeah, that's a good one. And not yet. So we have no plans yet to integrate with AWS. We would see. I mean, in the end, what we wanted to do in Uyuni, at least, is that playbooks and stuff that you have built on Ansible, you can use them also on Uyuni, right? That's, in principle, the intention. We would see. Okay, so with that, again, why is this so blue? Strange. Okay, this is our project page. You can go there, few links as well. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.